Hello, and welcome to Vermont Systems Teams webinar. My name's Sam, and in today's video, I'll be giving you an introduction to Microsoft Teams. We'll be covering the three things that you need to know to get started: how to log into Office 365, find the Teams app, download and install it to your desktop, and I'll be giving you a brief overview on how to navigate and find the various features of Teams. Before we begin, to log into the Office 365 platform, you will need your username, which is typically your company email address, your password, and if it's been set up by your IT, you'll need your Authenticator app or the mobile phone that will receive the verification code. Once you have these, simply bring up your web browser. You can use any web browser, Firefox, Chrome, Edge. In my example, I'll be using Chrome. Once you have your web browser open, go to www.office.com. I've already got Chrome open and I've already browsed to office.com. All I need to do now is click sign in. It will ask me for my email address, my password, and it will make me authenticate. I have my mobile phone to hand, I've pressed approve, and now I'm signed in. And this is the Office 365 platform. From here, I can browse and use any of the applications available to me under my subscription. If the applications that you can see on my screen now aren't available to you when you log in, don't worry, it just means that you haven't got the right subscription. Speak to your IT department and ask them to make sure that you've got the right subscription on your account. Once they've updated you, log out and log back in. When you log in, the application should be there on that top row. If you're looking for an application that doesn't appear on this top row, all you have to do is press the All Apps and it will show you all of the applications that are available underneath your subscription plan. It is listed alphabetically, so simply find the item. In this scenario, we're looking for Teams. I can find it here at the bottom. When I click on it, it will launch a new browser tab, and it will offer to use Teams through the web browser or to get the Windows app. I want to get the Windows app. Using the desktop app definitely gives you the best user experience. I simply have to press Get the Windows app. Because I'm using Chrome, the download will appear in the bottom left-hand side of my Chrome browser. While we're waiting for that, you can install and use Teams on your Apple phone or your Android phone, both of which have a Microsoft application that you can download from the relevant Play or iTunes store. Now that Teams has finished downloading, I simply need to click on it. It will self-extract and begin the installation. If I minimize Chrome, we can see Teams pop up. There we are. Teams is now installing. If it asks you to log in again, just use the same username and password that you used to access Office 365. Once you've done that, it will bring you through to the Teams view. And there we are. We're now in the main Teams view. When you enter Teams, if you don't have any Teams available to you, speak with your IT department or your manager and ask them to make sure that you're a member of any team that's relevant for your job role or the activities that you're expected to take part in. If you're setting up Teams for the very first time, Teams will ask you to set up your very first team. I recommend to make a public team named after your company and make sure that all of your staff are members of it. That way, anyone who logs in subsequent to your initial login will at least have the very first team that you made available to them. So there we have it. We've downloaded and installed Teams from the Office 365 platform. Now let's have a quick look at the features. On the left-hand side of Teams, you'll see the navigation bar. We have Activity, Chat, Teams, Calendar, Calls, and Files. Activity is where we can keep up to date with what's been going on in the teams and channels that we're members of. We can also get each other's attention by using @mentions to flag up certain messages or documents to each other. Any @mentions will also be listed here in your activity feed. We have chats where we can speak with our colleagues. We have teams where we can work with our colleagues, share documents, open files, work collaboratively. We can even hold meetings and conversations right here in the team. We have calendar, where we can view and access our Microsoft Outlook calendar. We can add Teams events or meetings, and we can keep track of our schedule. We have calls, where we can speak with other people that are members of our Office 365 tenant, and you can even call people from outside of your organization. Files. This is where you can keep track of the documents that you've had open recently. This can be really useful. Along the top bar, you'll see that you have the backwards and forwards arrows for moving backwards and forwards through the various pages of Teams. We have a small icon which can be used to initiate and start a new chat. We simply have to start typing the name of one of our colleagues, and Office 365 will do the rest. Like I said, you can even send a message to someone from outside of your Office 365 platform. You just need to know what their email address is, and they need to be using Office 365 as well. One of the great features of Microsoft Teams is the search. This search bar along the very top is always present, is always available, and can be used for search for pretty much anything. I advise you to give it a go and start using it. It's really useful. You can search for your colleagues, teams, channels, messages, documents. You can even search for context or content inside documents or inside messages. It's a really great feature of Teams. Finally, we have our profile. In the top right hand corner, you'll see an icon, typically with your initials inside it. If you click on it, the options or preferences menu for your teams will pop up. You can change your picture, adding a handy profile picture, maybe your corporate picture or your LinkedIn picture. You can set your status. You can set a status message, and you can change your preferences within the Teams application. This is also where you would sign out of Teams if you wanted to fully come out. Because if you click on the top right hand corner red X, it simply minimizes Teams and places it into your desktop icon. It remains active. That way, any messages or @mentions will come through as pop-ups, and all you need to do is click on the icon tray, find Teams, click on it, and it will take you back where you last left off. Okay, let's summarize. Office 365 Portal is available by going to office.com. This is where all of your applications are available for download, or you can use them through the web browser itself. Remember, you will only see and have access to the applications that you have a valid subscription for. If you think you're missing an app, speak with your IT and ask them to check your subscriptions. The Teams app is used for communication and collaboration. For the best experience, please download and install the desktop app. If that isn't possible, you can still use Teams through the web browser. When you're using Teams, use the left-hand bar to navigate your way around. When looking for something inside Teams, use the search bar along the top. And to set your preferences, create a profile picture and set your status. Simply click on your profile picture at the top right-hand corner. There's so much more you can do with Teams, and I've only covered the very briefest overview. So please be sure to check out our other videos where I'll be covering chat, audio and video conference calls, using Teams to collaborate and work towards a common goal, and how to set your notifications so that Teams doesn't cause you too much noise. Thank you again for joining us. My name is Sam, and this has been a Vermont Systems Teams webinar.